proper area designated for stretching, calisthenics, or Pilates. We're not allowed to use the aerobics room. We're not allowed to use the gymnasium. Why not? The loft is not being used before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What's wrong with the rest of us?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, as you know, this started early in the last term with regards to the approval of a youth needs analysis. From that, there was recommendations identified in the youth needs analysis, which identified the need for a youth center. With that, we came forward to council requesting that we engage a consultant, an outside consultant, to provide us with opportunities or options with regards to how we might address the youth needs. Those were presented to council in a public meeting, and from that, options were identified that council wanted to consider, and options were then, the remaining options were then no longer pursued. We came down to 2 options that were presented to the public. We actually, if you recall, took a show on the road and went to 2 high schools, 2 local high schools, with regards to meetings to discuss to discuss the issues related to the youth center, not knowing where exactly it was going to be, but we want to make sure we addressed or identified the needs of youth. From that, we then came down to a preferred option, which council selected, which is renovations to the leisure complex. The council then approved the engagement of an architect, who then started working on a design with a youth committee. The primary focus of the work that was being done was to address the needs of youth, so staff ensured that those issues were addressed and concentrated on those issues with regards to any renovations or upgrades to the leisure complex. Those presentations were made to council with regards to the concept plans provided by the architect, as well as some cost estimates. Through that process, issues were identified within the design that created a need for additional money or increasing the budget in order to address some building code issues and some soils issues that were identified. Council approved those additional funds, and with that, we came forward, once the decision was made to move forward with the project, we came forward with a meeting with all the members on September 12, 2013. We actually broke the meeting into 2 areas, the fitness and the pool members, and then we had the squash members at a later time that same evening. The meeting was very well attended, however, not very well received. The fitness members were not happy with regards to any work being done. They were being informed that work was approved by council and that we were moving forward with this construction, and that they were going to be inconvenienced. There was going to be a shutdown of the facility, which there was major objection to. They were going to be relocated, once again an objection to. However, staff were there to not only communicate to the members that things were going to happen, but also receive some input from them as to how we might move forward with this particular project. The general tone of the meeting was that they didn't want it to happen at all, and came forward with many delegations before council to not move forward with the project. Staff were very active in continuing on with the design and doing our best to accommodate the users of the facility. And I think the last members that we were dealing with were the track members, and we decided to move the track members over to ACC1. But all other uses within the facility were accommodated. Pool users probably were the most inconvenienced in that we had only one other pool to go to. The project then continued on its design course, and when the final design was approved by council, the tender was then, staff then requested to go to tender. We did. We came back to tender, and from that point moved forward with the construction project. So there were several opportunities for members to be involved in communications with regards to what was taking place. There was a staff design committee Many of the staff are involved in those design decisions, but the focus of the renovations to the leisure complex were to accommodate youth. They were not to upgrade or renovate facilities for fitness, squash, or the pool. And so many of the aspects that you see before you, if there was an upgrade or if there was a change, it was done in order to accommodate the changes of the facility that were needed in order to ensure that there was adequate space provided for youth. We know we have some operational issues with regards to some of the programming going on there. One of the advantages that we have now with the gymnasium is that if there are some larger classes, we can move it into the gym. However, it is council's direction that the primary focus for the gym and the youth rooms are for youth. The dedicated space in the loft is only for youth and will not be provided for program opportunities other than for youth. The gymnasium will be a priority space for youth as directed by council. If we have opportunity to use it for any other purpose, we will. Our intent is to program that space as actively as we possibly can, with the understanding that when youth are in need of that facility, they are given priority. If that direction changes, then of course we can look at making some other accommodations with regards to some of the space. Those were the main focus areas with the facility. The intent was not to create a bigger and better fitness area, or a bigger or better squash area, or a bigger or better pool area. The focus of the redesign was to create youth space and address the needs of youth.
Thank you, Mr. Senator.